Steph Curry. Steph Curry took home the Kobe Bryant All-Star MVP honors. Woohoo! Yes. He had to win. Listen, it was in the Bay Area. You got to give the local guy the All-Star Game MVP. A 20-year streak of All-Star games. Steph Curry's hadn't been 20 years, but he's been there a lot, most of the last 20 years. And Steph Curry wins it. Team Shaq, the OGs of Team Shaq. Yeah, they called me Team Shaq OGs. Beat Team Chuck. That would be Charles Barkley in the final of the first of 40 point tournament in the All-Star Game. Now, for me, and I watched this, I was not captivated. This is not really for me. I'm not sure who this was for. I don't really know. It certainly wasn't for me, but I did enjoy the back and forth with Draymond Green, who was not playing in the All-Star Game, was not selected to the All-Star team, but Draymond Green was working the studio set for TNT, and he was asked on a scale of 1 to 10 how much he liked the new format of the All-Star Game, and he responded with a 0 as his response. He thought it was a 0. That was it. Now, Charles Barkley, who was coaching, as we mentioned, and also commentating the game that he did not coach in, Charles Barkley responding to Draymond Green, and he said the reason the NBA is doing what they're doing to the All-Star Game is because of Draymond Green's generation of players in the NBA that have destroyed the All-Star Game. So that was Barkley's response. Some saucy commentary. The commentary more worthy of conversation than the game itself. That is the NBA All-Star experience in a nutshell. So let us discuss the question. We'll go back and forth here. Draymond Green. Again, Draymond Green was asked on a scale of 1 to 10 what he thought of the new All-Star format while plausibly being paid to commentate on the All-Star Game. And Draymond said it was a 0, while Charles Barkley, who was being paid to participate as a sham coach in said All-Star Game, says that the reason they're doing this is because of Draymond Green's generation. You make the call. Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? So I've got bastardized hotel pitchman and Wizard of Oz. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a nice night taking a nap. That's what we're going to make, because there's not much going on. Unless you like college basketball, not much going on. I guess a little hockey. Got a little hockey. All right, so again, I've got bastardized hotel pitchman and Wizard of Oz, and we'll combine all these things together. So number 1. I said number 1. My answer is, am I going to go A, Draymond Green, or B, Charles Barkley? My answer is actually C, all of the above. I'm going to go C, all of the above. No lies detected. The All-Star Game round-robin tournament was capital L lame. Capital L lame. It just was, right? And when your customers, the most passionate people for your business, your product, have to Google the rules on what the F is going on, you've done something wrong. And Draymond was complaining about the fact that the team from the Saturday rookie or young stars of the NBA, whatever they're calling it, got to participate because they needed a fourth team. They had to get a fourth team in there. So like Dalton Connect of the Lakers, who was traded to the Hornets, and then he came back to the Lakers. He's kind of in nomad's land. He was on one of the teams of the future stars that was playing in the All-Star Saturday or also Sunday tournament from Saturday. So I would have chosen to go with the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. The NBA chose to crank it up a couple of notches, and they decided to bastardize the All-Star Game. It's lower in quality. Now, it's been unwatchable for years, so it's just a different kind of unwatchable. But Draymond is correct. Now, how did we end up here? Well, that's the part where Charles Barkley enters the chat. Charles Barkley is also spot on, no lies detected from Sir Charles, because it's Draymond Green's generation of grab ass and huggy during the All-Star Game that created the mess that we have today. Now, to be fair, in all sports, the All-Star Game sucks. It's one thing that's changed in my lifetime. Used to be a highlight of the year to see all the great players united together, and it was wonderful. Now, it blows. But in the NBA game in particular, and there's different theories, the AAU tournament, all these guys know each other from the time they're first tagged for greatness, and they all hang out together at the same tournaments and travel the same circuit, so they all know each other. So they don't really have any competition with any of these people because they're all buddy-buddy, and they're all filthy rich in the NBA. But what has happened to the bug-ridden NBA All-Star Game, it has affected all of the All-Stars, right? The contamination is widespread contamination. It's highly infectious. And the headliners, they make so much money in the professional ranks that they cannot be troubled to provide a proper night of effort and focus and have that competitive spirit. They just can't. And this is a result. You play stupid games and win stupid prizes. So, in a perfect world, for me, it'll never likely happen this way, but you go back old school style, when I loved watching basketball when I was younger, back in my day, it was East versus West. It's going to shock you. What I'm about to say is a boomer take. East versus West, teams wearing their home uniforms, meaning that if you wear a Celtic uniform, you're wearing your Celtic uniform during the All-Star Game, or a Sixers or Bulls or Suns or whoever. You got your home uniform on, and that's it. And end the shenanigans. And you actually put some effort into that, and that's too much to ask. It's way too much to ask. All right, now, page 2. To the trade that still has legs. The trade that still has legs. A few weeks after the Dallas Mavericks landed Luca and traded him. They said, we're going to trade Luca. We're going to land him in L.A. They traded him to the Lakers on a silver platter. The commissioner over the weekend addressed the chatter. Adam Silver, over the weekend, shooting down the widespread conspiracy theories that the Mavericks' decision to give away Luca, hold on a second, let me put this on hold. Decision to give away Luca to the Lakers is to move the franchise to Las Vegas. Right, the people that own the Mavericks now are gambling people. They thought they were going to get a law passed in Texas to allow sports wagering and casinos, and they wanted to build an arena with a casino and all that stuff. But Adam Silver shooting down that conspiracy theory that the Luca trade was to upset the fan base so much so they could relocate the franchise to Vegas. Does this end the storyline? So I'm shaking my head no. Not by a long shot. And my response is the hotel pitchman. My response is the hotel pitchman here. Captain Obvious. Remember those commercials from years ago, Captain Obvious? What did you expect Adam Silver to say? Could you imagine if the commissioner had gotten up there and said, well, by the way, yeah, we absolutely, we hope the franchise will move to Las Vegas. We want to leave Dallas, and we want to go to Vegas because of the gambling money in Vegas. Of course he's not going to say that. You can't admit that. He would never admit that. But there's something that just doesn't smell right about the whole situation, no matter what Adam Silver says. And the fact that Adam Silver gave his blessing here on the trade, which makes you believe that Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, either orchestrated that Luca ends up with the Lakers, the heist is allowed, or he either orchestrated it or he allowed it to happen. But either way, he's the commissioner of the NBA. And this is a conspiracy theory. Unlike the NFL's fixing games for the Chiefs, this is one I can get behind. Either Adam Silver and the NBA is like, well, listen, we got to get a bigger star. LeBron's old. We need the Lakers to have a star at all times. That's the way we've done business for the past 50 years in the NBA. So we've got to keep that streak going, and we've got to make sure we get a star with the Lakers. And so we'll have Luca go there, and TV will be happy. Either that or the Mavericks want to relocate to Las Vegas. But back when the NBA had a commissioner with hair on his chest, and back when they had a man that wasn't from somewhere else out in the cosmos in the Milky Way as commissioner, a real commissioner in the late David Stern, that was when Commissioner Stern stepped in and vetoed lopsided trades, or at least one in particular, that Chris Paul trade. He put his foot down and said, no mas. Chris Paul, you're not getting traded. That's a giveaway trade. You're not going to the Lakers. Now, Silver says he never considered such a move, claimed that he doesn't really have the power to do that, even though it has happened in the past. Now, as far as the idea that the Mavericks would never be allowed to relocate to Nevada, of course, the Mavs have admitted they've never, or at least they say they never shopped Luca around. They only wanted to give him to the Lakers. It's not a trade. A trade is when you see what the item is worth, you put it up for bid at an auction, even if it's a silent auction, and see what you can get, and then you give the item to the highest bidder. That was not what happened. But the idea that the NBA would not ever allow a team leaving a bigger market for a smaller market is fugazi, and here's why. It has happened in other sports multiple times in recent years, and over the last, 35 years, it's happened many times. There were teams that left Los Angeles in the NFL for smaller markets, mainly the Rams, who left for St. Louis years ago, and then they came back to L.A. The Raiders left L.A., went to Oakland. They then left Oakland, a bigger market, the San Francisco Bay Area, for Las Vegas, a smaller market. The Athletics and Major League Baseball have also done that as they went to a smaller TV market, the San Francisco Bay Area market number 6 in the United States, and the city of Las Vegas market number, I believe it's number 42. Now, Dallas is the 5th biggest media market in the United States. So you'd move from number 5 to number 42, but you'd make up for that in gambling revenue. And don't be naive to think that that would not be allowed to happen. All right, now, final point. As the All-Star festivities continue, to Philadelphia we go. Some social media posts going viral. Several of you sent me this over the weekend as the All-Star game played out in San Francisco. A non-All-Star star, a fledgling podcaster, Paul George of your Philadelphia 76ers, went viral. His wife did, posting photos on social media of a nice tropical All-Star break vacation. So Paul George's wife posting photos of the All-Star tropical beachside vacation is blank. So my word is obtuse. My word is obtuse. Look it up. OBTUSE, obtuse. PG-13. I look at this. I'm so glad he's not a Clipper. Thank God. Get rid of that guy. But it's like the Wizard of Oz, like Paul George. The Scarecrow. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain. That's the amazing thing. I would be so embarrassed if I was Paul George. The guy scored 2 points in a game for Philly before the All-Star break against a dog food team, the Brooklyn Nets. I would be posting photos, if anything, I'd be posting photos of me taking jump shots in an empty gymnasium somewhere in the Delaware Valley. But no, Paul George is out there with his beautiful stripper wife there, I believe, on the beach there, somewhere in a tropical location. You'd think he would be cognizant of how bad that looks. And even if his wife's posting photos, maybe not be in the photos, say, hey, let's do me a solid on that. I don't need to be in those photos. But instead of putting up jump shots, he was putting on suntan lotion at the beach and then did not lock himself in the gym. Instead of holding a basketball, he was holding a margarita that would appear in his hands. And so there you go.